Yes, I look forward to that hearty discussion a bit later on. It's 11 minutes past 7. Let's return to our main story and the health of President Trump. He has been speaking from the hospital where he's being treated for coronavirus.
The US president says he feels better, but that the next few days will be the real test for him. Well, we're joined now by political reporter Meg Kinnard from the Associated Press. Morning to you, Meg. Thanks for your time this morning. Can you just give us an update? What is the general state of the president's health at the moment, as far as you understand it?
As far as I understand it, and good morning to you all, by the way, we know that the president is still receiving medication and treatment at Walter Reed Military Medical Center in Bethesda, Maryland. He's been there since day before yesterday, and is, experiencing, from what we've heard, flu-like symptoms. He's had a fever, although his doctors say that he's been fever-free for 24 hours. He's also receiving medications, though, that could bring that fever down, so it's unknown whether he would have been feverish at that point. But the president released a video, as you all have noted. He says he's feeling better, but at times it seems that he hasn't been feeling all that great. We also did learn that Friday, before he left the White House, he did receive supplemental oxygen, which, of course, when patients are being treated for COVID-19, that is a concern and something to take note of. His doctors say he hasn't been receiving any more oxygen while he's been under their observation. And by all accounts, everyone says that the next 7 to 10 days will really be what shows what's going to be happening with the president's condition.
Yeah, because that is the critical timescale, isn't it? We don't really know exactly when he will have got this virus, but if he's going to develop more severe symptoms, it's likely to happen within that time frame, 7 to 10 days, which is, I guess, why they're being ultra cautious about this. But it's hard to know, with all the information that's swirling around and slightly mixed messages from his people, from the hospital itself, what the true story is, and also how, I suppose, we as an audience are perhaps being played here, because there are so many different agendas on the go, aren't there?
It is a little confusing, I guess, when you take what we heard from his doctors in their initial news conference and then the information that reporters, including some of my colleagues at the Associated Press, received from White House officials, contradicting exactly how the president's vital signs had been since he had been admitted to Walter Reed, and really how serious the situation was. So yes, there have been some differences of opinion and different messages out there as to what exactly is going on. Clearly, the president wants to project a situation and position of strength and doesn't want anyone to think that he's any weaker than he actually is. But obviously, it is concerning for a nation that's already been on edge, along with the rest of the globe during this pandemic, not to mention the presidential election that will be happening here in just a month from now.
And just remind us, because this will be hugely disruptive to his campaigning, but there is no possibility, as far as I understand it, that this will delay the election at this stage.
That's not being discussed, at least by anyone who would really have the authority to do that. What President Trump has said and what those around him have said is that clearly he won't be on the campaign trail like he's used to, these events with thousands of attendees, very large-scale events where he gets his message directly to the people. If he does any campaigning while he's receiving treatment, it will be virtual. Vice President Mike Pence has tested negative for COVID-19, so the plan still is, according to the campaign, for him to go out on behalf of the president as well and stump for their reelection. But yes, certainly, we're not going to see, over the next couple of weeks at least, the same sort of campaigning that has been President Trump's stock and trade really since he announced his first run in 2015.
Yeah, which puts a question mark over the next presidential debate, which I think is the 15th of October. We'll have to wait and see on that one. What about Joe Biden, then? How does he play this? Because clearly the American networks are going to be rolling constantly with news about President Trump. And no matter what, some people would say that could be beneficial to his campaign.
In some ways, though, it does seem that former Vice President Joe Biden does have a bit of an edge, at least in terms of being able to be out campaigning. There are a handful of battleground states here in this campaign that are very crucial to the election of either man as the next president. Those states where the divide between Democrats and Republicans isn't very large. And so Joe Biden, who's been doing virtual events a lot over the past 6 months or so of the pandemic, he's going to be actually out campaigning in person more than he has been before, whereas the opposite is going to be true for President Trump should he campaign at all. So yes, the president is going to be on TV a heck of a lot, and the focus is going to be on hoping that he gets better soon, of course. But on the other hand, Joe Biden is going to be able to take his message directly to the American people.
Thank you very much indeed, Meg Kinnard. And in the next hour of the programme, we'll be talking to a critical